When it comes to sports stats, he's the head of the family.
I'm gonna make you an offer you won't refuse.
Just when you think you're out of the loop, he'll pull you back in.
We've known each other for many years, and this is the first time you come to me for help.
The Odds Father himself, Scott Sarah.
You must chill. All I wanted was your thoughts from the Utah CSU game.
It's a numbers game.
Really, that's what it was all about, huh? That's it, guys. Hello, welcome to It's a Numbers Game. I'm Scott Sarah. That's the Peanut Gallery. And you know what? This is the very last show.
Bubbly.
So I might as well introduce everybody. Kevin Cedergren, our very first producer of the show, member of the Peanut Gallery, and Frank Martin, who was the second member of the Peanut Gallery. It's going to be sad, guys. You know, the show started in late January of 2007. You know, we've done almost 300 shows.
Feels like 600.
As a matter of fact, our show is the most seen show ever on the network.
Boom!
I know, there it is.
Take that around the mountain.
So in celebration, we're going to look back today. We're going to have some fun. We're just going to kick it and relax and enjoy what was It's a Numbers Game.
Kicking it over.
All right, let's start with the third show we ever did back on February 14th, 2007.
Really?
Hi again, and welcome to It's a Numbers Game. I'm Scott Sarah. This week, we'll see who is breaking conference records, who is hot on the links, and since it is Valentine's week, we'll see who is in love. You know, for just the third time in the history of the Masters, the tournament was won with a score over par. Now, Johnson shot a final round 69 to hold off Retief Goosen, Rory Sabatini, and, you know, that guy named after the animal. All right, we thought we'd make it a little bit more casual over here on the set. Kevin, you remember those graphics? You remember you came up with that? That was a long time ago, man. Those look dated.
Sorry, America, but you did look like a young Ryan Seacrest, so that was good.
I did like the hair. The hair was standing up. It was getting a little longer then. It was kind of crazy.
Yeah, well,
What do
you're a
you
crazy
remember
guy.
most about that year, Kevin?
2007?
We first started.
Probably you just staring into my eyes and forcing me to work on the show with you. It's actually kind of creepy, but
Wow. Wow. All right, I also made a lot of flubs that year. It was kind of crazy, and just to prove it,
Just that year?
well, really a lot that year, but that was a good one, Frank.
check, please.
Here's a look at some of the flubs and miscues from 2007. The bulk of the non-conference schedule is over, and the race for the league crown is about to start in earnest. No, I'm not talking about the doofus who made no less than 7 feature films about nothing, but if this work, Oop, there's my first bloop, huh? What's the matter with my tie? This is a nice Jerry Garcia tie. You don't like my Jerry Garcia tie? Chuck you, Farley.
Hey, they just knew you. Why aren't you reading, your script?
Well, while the boys on the gridiron are slogging it out, the ladies on the court and the pitch are turning some heads as well. And is it the tradition why don't we crunch some numbers presented by Taco Bell Feed the Beast? Well, Bo Bell... What happened? Oh! I'm watching you. I'm watching you. I'm kind of a doofus, but I relish in that fact. You got it right. Thanks for watching. I'm Scott Sarah, and remember, if you're not thinking about numbers, you're not thinking. Hey, Vern, we're done with the show. Time to go home. Thanks for watching.
Excellent.
It was hard to come up with those every week. You made me do the Running Man, by the way. You got in my ear and said, do the Running Man.
Soul Train, you look great.
Yeah, that's
incredible.
great. Don Cornelius, we'd be proud, huh?
When did you kind of drop that, do you think? Because you've done that for like up until this last year, right?
We did it probably for about...
The gimmicky things.
The gimmicky things, we probably did until middle of 2010. Yeah, I think when the peanut gallery evolved, and we'll get to the peanut gallery later, there's a lot to evolve in the peanut gallery, but I think when the peanut gallery evolved, we kind of dropped that because we had another gimmick.
How did you come up with all that stuff?
It was hard every week, man. We had to figure out something different. Greg Thau helped a lot. Thanks, Steve. Yeah, it was hard, but, you know, whatever.
Nice.
Easy, easy, easy. All right.
Moving on.
You know, it took me a while, but I finally convinced our promo guy, Sean Murray, to actually promote the show. And when he finally came through in flying colors. So here's a look at some of the very first promos that we did.
And the game.
It was anyone's game, and there were some shocking results.
As a boy, Scott Serra had a passion for sports. But he was quick to realize he was better talking about sports than actually playing them.
Brandon Heath's numbers again?
2,189.
Who's that dude with 5 touchdowns in one game?
Luke Staley.
Field goal percentage records?
Matt Nelson, 61.6%. You kidding me?
Scott Serra, still proving he's better talking sports than playing them.
Some shocking results. Hey, did you know that Dontrell Moore had 1,028 carries in his 4-year career? Here's one you're like. A border collie named Witch won the 2008 World Agility Championships by more than 45 seconds.
Oh, yeah. That's
Scott Serra, stats for every man and his best friend. It's a numbers game.
Some shocking results. You know, that shocking results one ran for about a year, maybe 2.
That was your signature.
It was, and I think people were ready to kill me whenever they saw me in the street.
What about Sadie?
Sadie, W.C. Fields had the greatest quote ever. He said, "Never work with children or animals."
Well,
that promo.
Don't look at me. Don't look at me.
That promo took us 2.5 hours to shoot with that little dog. Sadie would not sit still. It was brutal.
Well, with makeup and then the trailer and catering, it's a mess.
There's that. But we did end up having a really bunch of memorable promos. Some that have never been seen until right now.
Never?
Let's check it out.
Roll it.
His precision for calculating sports results has caused victory celebrations before games start. The Smithsonian asked him to review Einstein's notebook to double-check the math. He is the only man to ever ace the Rorschach test.
regulation basketball hoop is 10 feet from the ground.
He proved infinity has an end. When Sports Exhibitionists tried to print his life story, they ran out of paper. He has never lost a sock. He is Scott Serra, the most interesting man on It's a Numbers Game.
I am interesting, aren't I?
He sees the world in a way no one could imagine. Scott Serra, one of the mountain's most brilliant sports statisticians. This is one man's journey to the greatest discovery of all. Who is king of the Mountain West Conference? Scott Serra, the Einstein of our time, statistical scholar, wizard of the wins column.
Hello again and welcome to
It's a Numbers Game.
Nice.
I know we got a lot of good feedback from those, and I want to thank Jim Janacek for allowing me to be as goofy as possible and allowing us to do anything to the extreme. Those were his creations. Those were awesome, but people love those, and you know, once we got rolling, it was kind of fun to do.
We had shocking results, as you would say.
No, shocking results finally went out the door, and we actually had some good ones that ran. But yeah, I'm kind of sad that the world's most interesting man never ran.
You know, I think actually that's been done by another company, Scott.
What? You mean we would steal something? Kevin.
Okay.
All right, let's move on to trivia, because trivia was a huge part of the show. And that's where we got our best emails, as a matter of fact. We got our very best emails. Let's not forget, our recent most trivia winner was Steve Hartman. He won the very last trivia contest.
Wow, congratulations.
Last week, so congratulations.
We're going to fly you out here to Denver, and you're going to help
If he ever
pack up the
emails
network.
us, though, with his T-shirt and address size, we will send him the very last of our mountain swag. So we want to thank all of you who emailed in over the years. Thank you for all your answers, and thank you for taking the time to do so. So this was the question. Which team leads the NCAA in total home runs? Well, Steve knew that as of last week, it was Eastern Kentucky.
You look comfortable.
That led the nation with a 64 team home runs.
Jacket, I like it.
I know, I told you we were getting casual over here. Kevin actually came up with the concept of the trivia. I mean, not that it was much of a concept, but he came up with a lot of stuff that first year.
I mean, because like Quiz Show and Jeopardy and all those other shows, they never did stuff like that. But thank God we have Kevin to come up with trivia.
Because I stole your wife, isn't it?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Man.
All right, thank you, Kevin. Any other thoughts on that first year that before we move on to the rest of the show?
We've come a long way. I mean, literally. We were on that side of the studio. Now we're over here. It's good 6, 8 feet.
I know, it was great. All right, there's going to be a lot more to come, so you guys stay tuned. We'll hear how we started the Peanut Gallery, and we'll hear from some former members of the Peanut Gallery when we finish up right after this.
Got a live band.
Yeah, well, get this. We're going camping this weekend. My wife's a little scared there might be some cougars up there.
Cougar, the second largest of the feline family in North America. BYU mascot, Cougars.
Hold on there, cowboy. I'm on the phone.
Cowboy, the origins come from Spain. Buckaroo, Paniolo, Gaucho, Toro.
All right, clearly you're on the ball here, but I'm on the telephone.
Ball, the regulation size NCAA football must be between 10.5 and 11.5 inches long. Pigskin.
Your search for sports stats has ended. Scott Serra, it's a numbers game.
All right, guys, you remember James?
I do,
That was James Palmer with me there in that promo. He was the originator of the Peanut Gallery.
He's why we're here.
Baby.
He's why you're there. If it weren't for him, you guys would not be sitting there. He just came to me one day and said, "Hey, Scott, can I be on the show?" And you know me, I'll try anything once. So I said, "Yeah, all right," and it worked out, and it brought you guys in. I think it changed the dynamic of the show. However, James all of a sudden just disappeared, and I ended up with you guys.
Yeah, whatever happened to him?
I don't know what happened to him, although we do have super secret scouts here at the mountain, and we actually tracked him down.
What?
We actually got him to tape something for us.
Tape?
Tape. It's what we used to use before digital. What am I going to say? They used to digital something for us?
Good one.
Anyway, this is what James had to say.
Hello and welcome, Numbers Game faithful. James Palmer here, creator of the Peanut Gallery. I got my start with Scott Serra, and it's a numbers game, and I've moved on to the big leagues. I'm now here.
On this Sunday's all-new Kendra. Okay, keep it down.
Hear that laugh in the middle, that kind of high-pitched one? That's me. I've moved on to bigger and better things. The Soup with Joel McHale. But I got to say, he's not as good of a boss as, say, Scott Serra. He doesn't treat us as well, but we're a little worried over there at E. Our job security isn't as strong as things are with the Mountain. If only I was back with It's a Numbers Game, I'd know I have a job come the end of August. I got a baby on the way, but hey, congratulations, you guys. You guys know what's going on. Hopefully, keep your fingers crossed for me and the Soup, and that we're all still employed by next fall.
You know, I am no stranger to sarcasm. I think he was making fun of us there.
You know what though? I think it's interesting.
Tell me
from James.
Why?
In that regard, because he still owes me money, and yet he won't return my calls. So congratulations on getting.
Yeah, well, that's good. Next time I talk to him, maybe I'll remind him that he owes you money.
He doesn't remind you.
All right, then when James left, Kevin stepped in, came from the producing booth in to step in, fill in the Peanut Gallery, and who knew Kevin was so funny?
It was like Brady for Bledsoe all over again.
So it was Kevin and Frank with the show. It was great, although sometimes you forgot that it was actually my show. And you tended to be a little bit, as Todd Christensen would say, verbose.
Yeah. It's the jacket.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, here's what happened most of the time. Hello again and welcome to It's a Numbers Game. I'm Scott Serra. That's the Peanut Gallery.
Master.
Hey guys, this week sort of reminds me of some of the mafia battles for turf in Chicago and New York back in the day. Oh, nice, Steve. Real nice. Really, there's no nice way to say it, really. It was a bit of a bloodbath for the Mountain West team.
You follow?
They're student athletes.
I hope it's an anomaly, because if this keeps up, it could get ugly when it comes time to negotiate the league's entrance into the BCS.
You calling something else ugly?
It's time to put you guys to the test, though. All right.
Man.
Name me one of the top 5 rushers in Colorado State history.
Aretha Franklin.
7.
Come on, guys. Really?
What?
That's in the media guides.
All right, I hold my high school single-season rush record with 1,649 yards.
Michael Caine.
I was injured my freshman year and got a medical waiver.
A hurricane?
I started my junior year playing backup fullback, but still managed to be the 6th leading rusher in the league.
Candy cane.
I had a pretty good senior year and even got a nickname.
Novocaine.
That same year, I became the first player from my school to lead the league in rushing since 2002.
Herman Cain.
I saved the best for last when I ran for 285 yards and had 375 total yards in the New Mexico Bowl.
Who are you?
Citizen Kane.
It's Gartrell Johnson.
I win.
And as I said, that's how it pretty much went the whole time. Yappity, yappity, yappity. I'm lucky I got a word in edgeways.
It's all pop culture with this kid.
That was my
great,
favorite.
though. I mean, you guys brought a whole new dynamic, and I appreciate that. And, you know, how'd you guys prepare for the show, though?
Actually, it was unscripted, which not many people would think, but that was just, you know.
I used to hold my breath until I blacked out, and then I'd wake up, and I'd find myself in that chair, and
just like college.
It just worked.
Wow. Now I know your
story.
secret. You
True
guys
story.
see, America, if you want to do something great, that's what you got to do. All right, and then Frankie got his own show.
That's right.
Yeah.
He went to the Bigger and Better and said, I don't need the peanut gallery anymore.
Rub it in, Scott.
That's it. And that's when Tucker Green stepped in.
Beginning of the end.
He was very anxious and very enthusiastic to be in the peanut gallery, I must say.
He likes hats.
He does like hats a lot, and, you know, he couldn't be here today to join us, so he sent a little goodbye message as well.
Oh.
The things that I will miss most about being in the peanut gallery, I don't know where to begin. It's been a fun ride. I'll miss being on television and broadcast to millions of homes and making an idiot of myself and not getting paid for it. I'll miss the uncomfortable leather chairs. I will miss Scott's off-brand suits. I'll miss Scott's overall general musk. He smells like mung beans, which you get accustomed to it. And I've grown accustomed to it, and I'm very fond of it now. But most of all, I'll just enjoy all those fun times we've had crunching numbers. The best thing about being in the peanut gallery is sitting next to Kevin Cedargren, because he has uncontrollable flatulence. And you can't hear it on TV because his mic is so close to his vocal cords. But when you're in the studio, it's a fun game to try and just deal with that and just go with the flow, because it is pungent.
A lot of odor stuff going on there.
Yeah, you know, the pills aren't really working.
No, Beano, I think, works.
Gas-X?
Right. There's a lot
Are they
of stuff.
sponsors?
No, you know,
we don't have sponsors.
We had a sponsor for a month. You remember?
Yeah, and it was Taco Bell.
There you
where
go.
I'm at.
There you go. Maybe that's why.
I'm just kidding. The fine folks at Taco Bell, great product. We love you.
So, Kevin, since you're the one staple, what's the difference between Frankie and Tucker, do you think?
Don't say sex drive. Do not say sex drive.
I don't know.
Don't do it.
Fashion. I mean, Frank is the cutting edge. Probably a 5 o'clock shadow. And just his sharp wit. I mean, he got his own show. Tucker doesn't have his own show.
Yeah, that's true. Tucker seemed a little morose there, too, huh?
I don't know what that means.
It means he was sad.
Oh.
It's a happy word for sad.
It's a numbers game, Scott, not a words.
Oh, I see. Yeah. All right, well, thanks for Frank for being here. He came back, and, you know, we appreciate him being Peanut Gallery. All right, there is still more to come. When we come back, we're going to read some emails. Ooh. Some great moments in numbers history. Woo!
And now, great moments in numbers history.
1.21 gigawatts!
This has been Great Moments in Numbers History.
He delivers the stats that matter, going past the highlights, deep into the trends and box scores. And he's usually right. No one's quite sure how he does it, but when it comes to sports stats, he's ahead of his time.
Great Scott! That flux capacitor almost left me in 1985. Gotta get that fixed.
Scott Serra on It's a Numbers Game.
That was fun. That was a fun promo.
That was my favorite promo we've done for any show in the past 6 years.
And that was a real DeLorean. A guy here in our building had a DeLorean, and he let us use it. And our graphics guys mocked it up. It was awesome.
Little inside info right there. Yeah. It was either HD games and an HD studio, or we did that commercial.
And funny thing,
that's what we chose.
Scott actually traveled back in time, which was crazy.
It was nuts. And you know, to see yourself as a 4-year-old again when you're a older person, yeah, that was a little
kind of scary.
Crazy.
Yeah.
It was. Hey, we did a lot of fun stuff. We did a thing called Great Moments in Numbers History. You saw a little bit of it there. That was Frankie's baby. He came up with that. I mean, he's a comic genius. And in case you didn't get enough of Kevin saying 1.21 gigawatts, here's a couple of my favorites of those.
And now, great moments in numbers history.
Are you serious? Again? Fine. We'll use somebody else. Why is 6 so afraid of 7?
Because 7, 8, 9, Scott.
This has been Great Moments in Numbers History. And now, Great Moments in Numbers History.
All right, guys, you know the drill. We're in dire straits. We need some great ideas to save this company. What do you got?
How about this? A new writing utensil called the #1 pencil.
That's funny. I've also developed a new writing utensil. It's called the #2 pencil.
Oh my God.
This has been Great Moments in Numbers History.
What'd I tell you? Comic golds? I mean, that's great. These guys came up with these quickly. It was awesome.
He made a lot of money off that pencil, too.
The #2 pencil? Yeah, well, you know, it's a great idea. Yeah. Hey, while we got a moment, I want to thank the entire crew that's worked on It's a Numbers Game since 2007. There's too many people to name, but we had a great time, including everybody behind the camera, in front of the camera, the production crew, the directors, our graphics guy, Jeff Wilson. I gotta mention him because we put him to the test.
Wilson with 2 L's.
Wilson with 2 L's, that's right. All right, guys, I think we're just about out of time, so we're going to end this little fun fest with a look back at our emails. And some of them were so good, some of them were not so good, but we're going to start with one, the very first email we got. Kevin, you remember that one?
I do.
It was from a guy named Alexander Steed.
Great name.
Yeah, and he told us this. Here it is. He said, you ought to go stick your hair in a dumpy toilet. But then he followed up with, in all honesty, I like the Mountain, and it's a good idea. I'm just not very fond of the commissioner of the Mountain West Conference. I think there's some good programming, and you do have some cool numbers in the program. Just don't dump it up with the crazy antics. Yeah, we went kind of crazy there. Then we got this one from an email address called Brazo's Boogers 2. It's nice.
So that's who took it.
Yeah, he thought TCU will win the Mountain West Conference tournament in football, and then went on to say, it's nice to hear you mention them, as I was beginning to think that this was the BYU television station.
My dad should stop emailing.
Yeah, probably. And we didn't get a lot of love in 2009. Steve Skidmore wrote, I was actually shocked to see a quality production come out of the Mountain. The Tark documentary was the first thing on your network that didn't look like a high school production. Whoever produced that actually did a good job. Well, thank you, Steve. I was the producer of that, so thank you so much. Yeah, what are you going to do? He went on to say the host of the show is retarded, or was he just born an idiot? So, you know, got to get the love with the praise there.
I don't know if we can say that on TV.
I got to tell you, though.
Yeah, whatever.
10-1, the emails were better than the worst. People loved the show, and people actually loved the show, and throughout the years, they support us a lot. When I would go out in the street, they'd say, hey, numbers guy. Nobody knew my name, but, you know, they knew numbers guy.
I've got your number.
Exactly.
That one gets old.
All right, finally, we have this one last email. It is from Man with 3 first names. He says, have you guys put much thought into how you're going to end the last show? Wow. Huh. That's a good question. Have you guys thought? I mean, here we are at the end. How are we going to end it?
Just thank everybody.
Well, I think one of us needs to die.
Needs to die. That's a little bit, don't you think? Okay, fine. If you think it has to go to that, I mean, it's a little cliche, but who's going to die? What? No. Kevin, no! How can this be?
Laughing.
No.
buddy, dude. Wake up, man. I think you're having a bad dream. You all right?
A dream?
Yeah. You okay?
I think so. It was 2007, and I was on TV, and I did this show about numbers for the Mountain West, and people would laugh, and people would write in, and I would make them laugh and tell them about numbers and Mountain West, and they loved me. You were there.
Me?
And people loved us, and we were very popular, and then it all ended, and then they shot Kevin.
Who's Kevin?
Well, Kevin...
You all right?
Who are you?
I don't know, but you better get this in order. Pac-12 needs these offices.